Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new playthrough video. Tonight I'm going to be playing Escape from the Dark Castle. I've played this before. I think this will be my second video that I've recorded. And it's a fun game, especially solo, although you can play it cooperatively with up to 4 players. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up here. These are the chapter cards and they're kind of a little unwieldy. You shuffle them up and you draw out 15 of them. And that makes the story that you are going to tell. And then you put a boss card on the bottom, and you put a starting card on the top. And, that's how it works. So let's see. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, you take 15, put the rest away. I'm going to shuffle these a little bit just to mix them up a little bit more. And tonight I'm going to be playing the Abbott and Miller again. I just like the Abbott and Miller. They seem to do well combined. They sort of have their own strengths and weaknesses. But so here are the 3 opening cards. And I'm just going to mix these up real quick. Just so I don't even know. I think I've only looked at, well, no, I've seen 2 of them. There's a third one I haven't seen yet. And you put that on top. And then I have a whole bunch of boss cards. I think I have like about 10 here. So I'm going to shuffle these up really well. And I've played this game maybe a total of 4 or 5 times, so I really haven't seen all the bosses yet. And I've never looked at the cards that I haven't seen, so I really truly don't know what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to pull that one, put these away, and this goes on the bottom here. All right. So I have my Abbott and Miller die. I have some of the chapter dice, and the only thing left to do is to shuffle the item cards a little bit. And anytime you have a combat and you win, you get to pull 1 card, unless a card tells you that you can go to the deck. All right, so let's see what's going to happen tonight. All right, so flip it over. Same one. I've had this one before. After years of incarceration in the depths of the Dark Castle, you finally break free of your cell. In a small stone room adjoining the cell block is an old wooden chest. The lock is open. Draw 1 item card per player. You hear footsteps. You must not linger here. You make for the exit, slipping away and disappearing into the darkness. Turn the first chapter card. All right, so I get 2 cards. 1, 2, and you can assign them however you want. I've got a partially eaten apple, rotten apple. Discard to record 1 HP. I'll give that to the Miller. And the Replication Stones, which is a relic. Whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2 of that trait. Wow, that is a powerful card. All right. So, like if you just roll that, it counts as 2. Even though it won't have the shield, it still counts as 2. That's great. All right, let's get going. All right. It's a monster. You sense something strange in this chamber. There is a sudden drop in temperature as the air grows still. Then you see it. As a group, choose 1 option. You can flee. The specter will steal part of your soul and you lose 2 HP. You can fight and begin combat. Now the combat special is you are terrified and any might you roll this chapter has no effect. By default, I always have the Abbott as the one opening the door, so to speak, unless I choose to do the Miller. When you have a 4-player game, somebody has to volunteer to peek at the next, or to flip the next card, and that becomes you. In my case, it will always be the Abbott. So the Abbott cannot do any might rolls, which are the fists. So I'm going to choose combat because, so here's what you do. It requires a might. There's a symbol at the bottom of each card, combat card, that tells you. So I'm going to put 1 black die with a might, a fist, and then this symbol right here, the little meeple, means that you roll 1 black die for each character. And I'll roll those. I got a might and I think that's a wisdom. So that's great. All right, and now what you do is you just take turns rolling these dice and trying to match these to take them away. However, the Abbott, it says the Abbott cannot get the 2 mights, so only the Miller can. Fortunately, he does have some might on his card. So let's see what happens. Of course, I got a might for the Miller and a might for the Abbott. Now this counts as 2 because he's got that card, but unfortunately he cannot do might. So 1 might will go away, and now it is this creature's turn. This creature will do 1. There, at the bottom of each card will be a number. In this case, it's a 1. And that's how many damage will be done to the individual characters. So what I've got to do right now, real quick, is get out the... I forgot something. I got to get out the little health trackers. I've got them right here. 1 and 2. Both of my guys have 2 hit points each. When for a 2-hero game, they each get what did I do with those little things? Well, I had these little skulls that there they are. They each have 18 hit points. You get down to 0, you're dead. If one of them dies, I lose the game. It's not a it's an all or nothing. So I'll put one of these at 17 and the other one at 17. So neither one of them rolled a shield, so they couldn't defend this turn. So now it's my turn, so I roll again. The Miller got 2 fists, so he gets to move this and a shield. And even though he can't do might, he got the shield. So this time around, no damage will occur. Now it's my turn again. I need to get rid of this symbol right here. And I got it. The abbot got the star symbol. So this goes away. This creature's defeated, and I get to pull a loot card. And what did I get? I got Rusted Flail. Once per round of combat, when you roll Cunning, which is the eyeball, you may roll again and choose which of the 2 results to apply. I'm going to give that to the Miller. The abbot automatically gets the single turns into a double. That's a pretty powerful thing, so we're going to go with that. All right, abbot will open the next door. You have been hunted by a ferocious castle hound. You become separated, and each of you must fight alone. Roll a chapter die in front of each player to represent the hounds attacking them. However, the hounds can sense weakness. Players with less than half their starting HP should roll 2 chapter dice instead. Well, they're not at half. Combat special. No player can rest until the hounds attacking them are defeated. They may then either rest or help another player defeat theirs. A player aiding another takes damage as normal and must declare who they are aiding before they roll. All right, so you roll a chapter die in front of each. All right, so the abbot needs to get an eyeball, and the Miller needs to get an eyeball. So, and the hounds do 1 point of damage each. All right, so it's the start of my turn. So let's roll it. All right, so I got an eyeball and a double eyeball. So guess what? That was pretty easy. I defeated them. I get another roll. I got another apple. And you know what? Just to save some space, because they can only hold 2 items, I'm going to have each one of them use their apple and go back to full health, 18. All right, that's that. And let's go to the next card. Skeletons, man. The passage takes you past dark, unlocked cells. From inside, the sounds of bony hands clutching steel is unmistakable. As a group, choose one option. You can charge them, and I'll roll 1 of these for each player, or I can lure them, which means I need to get 2 might and then 2 more dice. I'm going to charge them. Why not? Let's see. So I need an eyeball and a might. All right. Now, since I'm charging them, they're going to do 2 damage each. If I had done this option, they do 1 damage. So they're going to do 2 points of damage if I don't come up with an eyeball and a fist. I got an eyeball and a fist. I am getting some lucky rolls tonight. So this goes away. I get another card. I got Ringorn's Rune. I love some of the magic items in this game. They're really cool. It's a relic. Whenever you roll a double, you may change it to any single. If you do, the double does not apply. That's powerful. I'm going to give that to the Miller. That is a very powerful card. All right. All right, so the skeletons are done. Let's keep going. Another monster. Believe it or not, there are a lot of cards that are not monsters. I just must have shuffled poorly. Where there was once flesh and fur, the bones of this skeletal beast now crackle with the menacing power of dark magic. Begin combat. Here's the combat special. Whenever you would remove a chapter die by hitting this enemy, roll it instead. whenever you would remove it, roll it. If the result is wisdom, do not remove it. Put the wisdom side back up. Okay, interesting. I need to place an eye, a wisdom, and then I roll 2 more black dice. And this thing, 2 eyeballs. All right. So this thing does 2 damage every time it hits. All right, so let's roll for the abbot and the miller. All right, the miller got 1 eyeball. The miller says whenever you roll a double. He did not roll a double. Once per round of combat, when you roll a cunning, that is a cunning, you may roll again and choose which of the two to do. Let me double check that is cunning. I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. I am pretty sure that is cunning. Let's see. Hold on just 1 second. I got the rule book over here. All right, let's see. Sorry, the power came out of my laptop. Let me plug that back in real quick. Come on. I want to make sure I, know the symbols again. Cunning is the eyeball. Okay, so he rolled a cunning. I can roll it again. So he's either got 1 eyeball or a fist. The fist doesn't help me, so I will take the 1 eyeball, which will take 1 of these away. Now the abbot got doubles. Whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2 singles. So he does it. So he gets rid of 2, but he got rid of a wisdom, and he's shielded, so he will take no damage. However, it says when you would remove a wisdom, roll it. If it's wisdom again, you put it back, and it's not. So this goes away. So this time around, the abbot defends, so no damage, but the miller will take 2, and he's down to 16. So it's time for them to roll again. I got an eyeball and a wisdom. The abbot rolled the eyeball. Whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2 singles. So 2 eyeballs. So that got rid of those. So that was nice. Draw a card. Cracked Axe. In combat, roll a chapter die along with your character die each time you attack. Apply both results. Nice. All right. Okay, next. Finally, to enter this door, you are forced to push aside thick, thorn-covered vines. They spring to life, binding your wrists and hauling you into the thicket beyond. You lose 1 HP. Hacking at the aggressive weeds eventually causes them to recede through cracks in the old wall, leaving behind the belongings of a previous victim. Draw 2 item cards. All right, I got Effervescent Evasion. Whenever you would lose HP, discard this to lose none. And I got an apple. Well, I'm going to discard the apple. Whenever you would lose HP, discard this to lose none. None of these magic items, I don't want to get rid of any of those. They're too good. So these just go to waste, which is unfortunate, but you can only carry 2 items per character. All right, keep going. You emerge into a small sandy arena. In the center, a woman far taller and more muscular than yourself raises her well-worn blade and calls out, "Challengers, prepare to die. Begin combat." Combat special. Before each round of combat, nominate 1 player to fight the arena champion. Only that player rolls, and only that player takes damage. You must fight in the first round. Players may not rest. So I'm just going to start with the abbot and go miller, abbot, miller, abbot, miller. All right, so the abbot will start. I need his die. We start with a fist, a cunning, a wisdom, and then you roll. Well, I needed some more black dice here. The game comes with plenty of dice, so you won't run out. All right, so roll these 2. I got another fist and another eyeball. So, that's a lot. All right, so the abbot will challenge first. And he rolls a fist. Whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2. So I can remove the 2 fists. And he takes... Only that player rolls and only that player takes damage. So 1 damage. So he goes down to 16. It is now the miller's turn. I rolled a fist. Whenever you roll a double, you may change it to any single. It says once per round when you roll cunning. I did not roll cunning. You may roll again. So none of that helps. So he takes a point of damage. It now goes to the abbot again. I got a single. Whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2. Oh, you know what? In combat, roll a chapter die. I forgot to do that. Let me do that. I rolled another fist, which doesn't really help. So this goes away, and the abbot takes 2 damage. It is now the miller's turn. I got a single eye. Unfortunately, it says when you roll a double, you may change it to any single. This would have been good for the abbot. So 1 will go away, and the miller takes the damage. They're both down to 14 hit points, by the way. Now it is the abbot's turn. I need an eyeball. Come on. There we go. All right, so I defeated that creature. Get to draw a card. Stale loaf of bread. Discard to restore 2 hit points to your character. Well, I can't use it because you have to equip it and then use it. But to equip, I would have to lose 1, and I'm not going to do that. All right, let's keep going. Your boot catches a tripwire, releasing a shower of acid from above. All players must try to roll cunning in 1 attempt. For each player, a success, you dodge it. Failure, the acid splash sizzles and smokes, burning through an item you carry. Discard 1 item. If you have 2, shuffle them face down and discard 1 at random. If you have none, lose 1 HP. All right, so you got to roll cunning. Cunning is the eyeball. So let's do the abbot first. I rolled a single, and it does not help. So he failed it. So I take his 2 items, and I'll put them behind my back and shuffle them like I'm not thinking about how many flips I've done here. All right, so which one? Let's get rid of that one. I lost the axe. Well, that's too bad. I would have liked to have kept that, but at least I kept this change a single to a double. All right, and now the miller rolls. Or did I just roll the miller? No, I rolled the abbot. Miller rolls. I need to roll an eyeball, and I did. So nothing there. Let's keep going. You are knocked unconscious and dragged down a side passage. You awake strapped to a table where a man in a filthy apron is scraping rust from a jagged blade. You are to be a test subject for the castle's torturer. You must endure the pain until your absence is noticed and you are rescued. Roll your character die 5 times. For each roll that is not a might or a double, you lose 1 HP. So the abbot went in. So I need might or a double. So first roll, I got a might. So we're good. Second roll, I got nothing. So he loses an HP. Third roll, wisdom, lose an HP. Fourth roll, got a might. That's good. And then fifth roll, might. So I lost some hit points there. All right. Next card. Your spirit is wrenched from your body. Man, poor abbot. Paralyzed, you can only watch as it drifts above you. You are incapacitated. To restore your corporal balance, the other players must roll in unison, keeping track of wisdom rolls until they have rolled a total wisdom equal to the number of players. After each attempt, you lose 1 HP. If you have not succeeded after 3 attempts, your spirit returns. So the miller needs to roll 2 wisdom. So the first roll is a wisdom. That's good. After each attempt, you lose HP unless the total has been reached. So he loses a hit point. I need another wisdom, and I didn't get it. That's roll number 2, and here's roll number 3. Failed it, so there we go. So he lost 2, and he gained 1. All right, so that's fine. From the darkness ahead, an arrow whistles past your ear. Before you can react, another buries itself into your shoulder, and you slump. You lose 2 HP. He's down to 8. Cautiously creeping along the passage, you find a man's body riddled with arrows. No sign of attackers, so you check to see if he was carrying anything. Draw a card. I got stale loaf. Discard to restore 2. Yep, I'll put him back up to 10. All right, let's keep going. As you pass an ornate mirror in this bedchamber, twisted versions of yourself step through it. I've seen this card before. Each player must roll their die twice and place corresponding chapter dice, and then you have to fight your double. Place only 1 die for each double rolled. Begin combat. No player can rest until their doppelganger is defeated. Then they may rest or help another player. All right, so the abbot, you have to roll 2 dice. Place okay, so a wisdom and a might. All right, and then the miller, a might, because doubles don't count. You just 1, and a cunning. All right. So, and they do 1 damage if you don't defeat them. All right, so let's start with the abbot. The abbot rolls, and gets a fist. So it takes this away, but he takes 1 point of damage. The Miller rolls a fist, takes that away, and takes a point of damage. Now the Abbot rolls again. I need a Wisdom. I did not get it. Takes a point of damage. The Miller rolls an eyeball, gets rid of that. And then the Abbot already took the damage. So the Abbot gets to go again, but the Miller gets to help. And I didn't get it. Hold on. The Miller, once per round, when you roll Cunning, which I did, you may re-roll and choose which to apply. So I need a Wisdom. I did not. I got the eyeball again. So he takes another point of damage. Roll again. Wisdom. Got it. All right. That was not a monster, so I don't get a card to pick a card. Here we go. You wipe the dust from a lid of a large tomb, blah, blah, blah. It's a giant night rises. I fought this one before. You must either flee, and you each lose 3 HP, or fight it. Well, heck yeah, I'm going to fight it. So, star, and then you roll 2, 1 for each player. 3 wisdom will defeat this thing. No rest. All right, Abbot and Miller will both roll. The Abbot got a star, and it says when you roll a single, it counts as double. So this goes away. And the Millers, when you roll a cunning, you may, once per round of combat, when you roll cunning, you may roll it again and choose a result. So I'm hoping for a star, and I didn't get it. But I did get a shield, so I'll keep that. And did he roll 2? He took away 2. Oh, no, he rolled 1, but he took 2. So the Abbot will take 2 points of damage, and the Miller takes none because he rolled the shield. All right, roll again. And there's your star. So got rid of that. All right, and I get to draw a card. Whenever you would lose HP, discard. All right, good, because my Abbot is getting pretty low on HP. He's down to 5, and the Miller is at 13. Let's keep going. A hideous creature emerges from the darkness. It drools at the sight of you. You can surround the beast and attack from all sides, or stay together and fight on the move. If I choose the first option, they do 3 damage per hit. I'll die. So I got to do this second one, which is a fist, 2 wisdom, and roll 2 more dice. Another wisdom and an eyeball. All right, and this time I lose 2 hit points per loss. So the Abbot and the Miller roll. The Abbot rolled 2 wisdom and a shield, so he will take no damage. And that is not a cunning, but it is a fist, so this goes away, which means he will take 2 points of damage. All right, roll again. I got an eyeball and a double. Awesome. So the eyeball takes this away. Now the Abbot, oh, no, wait a minute, hold on. The Miller got the eyeball. So the Miller took the eyeball. This is a wisdom, but thankfully he got a shield, so he won't take any damage. But the Miller will take 2. And now they get to roll again. Come on. They both got shields, so they won't take any damage this turn. And I got a star. So that goes away, and I get to draw a card. Liquid Luck. Discard to re-roll your character die, applying the second result. Now, I'm saving this potion for when I lose big hit points. All right. I got 2 more chapter cards. Ooh. The smell of manure is thick as you enter this chamber, flanked by wooden animal stalls. An agitated beast of burden has broken free of its pen and now blocks your way. It is cornered, with mighty horns ready to gouge. Begin combat. Each round, when it attacks, this creature deals an additional 1 HP of damage to any players who hit it. So if you hit it, it's going to do 3 points of damage. It starts with a wisdom, and roll 2 of these. Got a might and a wisdom. All right, so let's go fight this thing. All right, the Abbot rolled a single. It counts as 2 singles, which doesn't really help me. So he did hit, and he didn't get a shield, so he's going to take 3 damage, which he's at 5. He's down to 2. And the Miller rolled a fist. Whenever you roll, so it gets rid of this, and he hit, so he takes 3. He's from 9 to 6, and now they roll again. And I got the star, so that goes away. All right, get a card. Discard to apply a single might at any time. Nah, that doesn't really help me right now. The last chapter card. Hurrying into this candlelit chamber, you interrupt a sacrificial ceremony. A robed man in a death mask declares that you too must now be sacrificed. Combat special. You are overcome with fear. You, him, Abbott. Any doubles you roll count as singles, and you cannot block. But his card says when you roll a single, it counts as 2 singles, so that should counteract that. All right, so I need an I, an asterisk, and 2 rolls. Wisdom and a might. All right. I've got 2 hit points left on the Abbott. An Abbott got a single, which now counts as a double. So these 2 go away. But he did not get a shield. The Miller got a single cunning, so he can re-roll it, which isn't going to matter because, let me just see what I get. I got the same thing. So this goes away, which means the Miller takes 2 damage. He's down to 4, and I'm going to use this card to keep the Abbott from taking 2 damage, which would kill him. All right, so he's got a single might left, and I got the might. So that goes away. I get to draw a card. It's a shield. Whenever you would lose HP, reduce the amount by 1, down to a minimum of 1. Well, Abbott, you're getting that. I have reached the final door. This is a boss, and I will tell you, from what I remember, the bosses are not easy. So, not got a lot of hope here with 2 hit points and 4 hit points. The Keeper of the Horde. Now then, hand over your weapons, your relics, and your lives. Each round, instead of attacking or choosing to rest, one player may choose to raid the Horde. They do not get attacked, but they lose 1 HP to booby traps and draw an item card. At the end of the round, the newly drawn card can be given to any player. Well, I'm not doing that. So I got 2 wisdom, 2 eyeballs, and I roll 2 dice. I got a fist and another wisdom. This is going to be very difficult. All right, let's begin the... And he does 3 damage. So if he hits... If I don't roll shields for the Abbott, he'll lose 3, and it doesn't matter with the shield because it loses it by 1, which he's only got 2 hit points. So if he doesn't roll a shield, he's going to get dead. And I didn't roll it. The Abbott rolled a single star, which counts as a double, so that goes away. The Miller rolled a single eyeball. Cunning, I can roll it again. He got it again. But, unfortunately, the Abbott takes 3 damage. Minus 1 is 2, and he is down to 0 hit points. Womp, womp, womp. It's frustrating, but you know what? That's why I like dice games. You just don't know. You don't know if you're going to win. You don't know if you're going to lose. But that was fun. I did make it all the way to the boss. So very, very happy with that. I will put this back with the regular chapter cards. And trust me, I will be back to play this game again and again. I just like it as a very fast, fun little game to play solo. And again, it's called Escape the Dark Castle. If you are interested in it, I believe you can still get copies of it online, although they sell out often and then they reprint them and then they sell out again. So if it's sold out, be patient. Stay in. It's Themeborn, BORNE.com, THEMEBORNE.com. Check their website and see if they are, get any more in. But it's definitely a fun game to play solo or with other players. I have played this with my youngest son and my wife. She actually thought it was kind of fun. But it's a hard time. I have a hard time getting them to play games with me, so that's why I play a lot of solo games. All right, that's all I have for this episode of a playthrough of Escape the Dark Castle. I hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you enjoyed watching me make it all the way to the end and then die a horrible death. That's it. I'll be back definitely again very soon to play another round of this. Until then, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.